Right now it's 6. Super Bowl 60 takes over the Bay.
Very excited. Just excited to be here.
We're live from the opening night festivities in San Jose. Plus, making the streets shine ahead of the Super Bowl. We go along with trash truck drivers working around the clock to ensure San Francisco makes a good first impression on visitors.
Make sure, everybody has a great experience and they have clean streets to walk through.
And dozens of earthquakes shaking the same East Bay neighborhoods.
I mean, that was about as nervous as I get.
A look at the science behind the swarms. And later, ranch workers in the North Bay running out of time to find a new home.
To lose them and to lose the ranches is sacrilegious.
We'll hear from neighbors about the major changes coming to the Marin County coast.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us at 6. Super Bowl 60 almost here, and the celebrations are already underway. Fans from all over are starting to arrive in the Bay Area to see the New England Patriots take on the Seattle Seahawks at Levi Stadium. And even though kickoff is still 6 days away, there's an absolutely loaded schedule leading up to the big game. We're live at some of the hot spots for visitors, but let's start with our team coverage with Ryan Yamamoto outside Super Bowl opening night in San Jose with the great job there. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Jules, we're live outside the San Jose Convention Center where all the biggest names that you will see on Super Bowl Sunday are now inside. This is what's known as opening night, where players, fans, and the media all get together to kick off Super Bowl week. Inside, you can see the stages are literally set for the players and coaches for the Patriots and the Seahawks to address members of the media. The Patriots are wrapping up, and now the Seahawks, as you can hear the fans now walking by me, they're about to take the floor in about an hour. Those teams touched down at San Jose Mineta yesterday, and many of their fans have also arrived. Just look at the line to get into the event tonight. We talked with a couple of Seahawks and Pats fans about the excitement about making it back to the Super Bowl.
It's very exciting. We went from 4-13 for 2 seasons straight to we're the best team right now. Everybody doubted us. Nobody wanted us to win, but that's okay. We're going to win no matter regardless.
Oh, man, this is it's really exciting. I've been a lifelong Hawks fan my entire life. I remember watching Dennis Erickson, head coach in the mid-'90s, and fell in love with him ever since. So really excited to be here.
So the general feeling from all these fans, the excitement is building. They cannot wait for kickoff on Sunday for the Super Bowl at Levi Stadium. And coming up, we'll have much more at 7. We'll be covering all the major events all this week as the Bay Area hosts tens of thousands of visitors for football's biggest games. Biggest game, should I say. Jules, back to you.
And here we go. We've been planning for it, and it is here. Ryan, thank you. We look forward to your coverage all week long. So today, San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie made it clear police will have a visible security presence for all of the Super Bowl-related events in the city. The mayor said all available officers are now on duty and will remain so for the rest of the week. Sheriff deputies will supplement SFPD with extra deployments. The city is also trying to put its best face forward with all of the visitors. Our Kelsey Thord live from Union Square with the extra cleanup efforts underway. Hey there, Kelsey.
Hey, Juliette. Yeah, when you think about a Super Bowl, you might not think about everything that goes into it, from extra police out on the streets to fire trucks going by to trash collectors doing all they can to keep this city clean as thousands of people come to town to enjoy the Super Bowl. I got the chance to walk along with one of Recology's drivers to see all that they are doing ahead of the big game. As thousands of people from around the world descend on San Francisco for Super Bowl 60, Recology drivers like Michael Murray are buckling up for a busy week.
We're going to try and get in there and get as much as the trash removed multiple times a day in order to service the city and make it look really nice.
Recology says drivers like Michael, serving highly trafficked locations like Union Square, Moscone Center, and the Embarcadero, will be increasing the frequency of their routes as well as collecting trash overnight.
So we can empty all these bins while everyone else is sleeping, so San Francisco can start the day every morning fresh with empty bins.
Michael has worked his same route through Union Square and Moscone Center for over 25 years. He worked the route the last time the Super Bowl was in town, but told me he thinks this time around it's going to be even busier.
It was a little bit more different. It wasn't as focused as it was here because they didn't have the Pro Bowl here like they're having this year at Moscone Center.
It's an effort we've seen before when the city has hosted major events. Back in November of 2023, during the Apex Summit of World Leaders, there was a noticeable reduction in homeless encampments, with critics calling out sweeps they say only push the unhoused to other parts of the city. At a press conference Monday to go over the city's Super Bowl preparedness plan, Mayor Daniel Lurie said the city's outreach to the unhoused would be business as usual.
Our neighborhood street outreach teams are working with people struggling on the streets to connect them with services and get them indoors, like they do every day.
The goal is to make the city as safe and clean as possible, not only for all the visitors, but also for the rest of us that call this city home year-round. For Michael, that's something he's proud to be a part of.
I'm just trying to stay focused on the people walking around, make sure, everybody has a great experience and they have clean streets to walk through.
Just don't ask him about the Niners. This Bay Area guy is a Steelers fan through and through, but he is rooting for the Patriots to take the Lombardi Trophy home Sunday because of one future Hall of Famer's connection to the Bay.
Brady grew up in San Mateo, so I live in San Mateo, so I'm pulling for.
Now, Michael told me that he expects things to just get busier and busier as the week goes on, as more people get into town for the big game. But Juliet, good news for Michael. He does not have to work on Super Bowl Sunday. He said he's actually going to a Super Bowl party, so he doesn't even have to clean up afterwards. So that's great for him.
I'm so happy to hear that. And those streets look really clean right behind you. Nice job to all of them doing their work. All right, Kelsey. Thank you so much. All right, the main event in San Francisco is the Super Bowl experience, which opens tomorrow at Moscone Center. So today we did get a sneak peek at the replica locker rooms ready for the game day. Fans will also be able to take part in interactive games and see a collection of each and every Super Bowl ring, along with the Vince Lombardi Trophy. All right, turning to other news now. San Jose police, they're investigating the city's first murder of 2026. Police found a 17-year-old victim with a gunshot wound yesterday afternoon in a parking lot on Winchester Boulevard. The teen was taken to the hospital where he died from his injuries. Police believe there was some kind of fight between the suspect and the victim before the shooting. They are still looking for the gunman. San Jose police also say they've arrested a serial arsonist. Jose Rodriguez Barragan is accused of setting 11 different car fires. Most of the fires were on Almaden Road. Police say in all of those fires burned 19 cars. You can actually see some surveillance video as well right there. You can see a person near a black SUV, and then there's a fire under the hood. Police say it was surveillance video that helped them identify the suspect. Detectives are trying to figure out if Rodriguez Barragan is responsible for more car fires in the city. All right, on to that swarm of earthquakes. It's been rocking in an East Bay neighborhood all day. I felt it this morning. Each of these red dots is one of dozens of earthquakes in San Ramon, the strongest of 4.2 that hit just after 7 a.m. So take a look at this. It is surveillance video. Happens to be from a 7-Eleven on Acosta Boulevard, where most of the quakes were centered. Yep, doesn't lie. There's the video. You can see the shaking, knocking some items right off the shelves. We heard from neighbors who felt the quakes also.
Bed was shaking. I was reading my news in bed.
But they were going off every minute almost.
I'm out here trying to work on my swing, so yeah, it's not bothering me too much.
So could all of these small quakes mean a bigger one is coming? Brian Hackney looks into the science behind these swarms.
The hits just keep on coming in San Ramon.
Did you feel the earthquake?
Yes, I did. And it woke me up. Oh my God.
No wonder. It was a 4.2 just after 7 a.m. In all, 5 magnitude 3+ quakes within 1 hour, all within a few miles of the Calaveras Fault. Roland Bergman is with UC Berkeley.
Are there implications for the Calaveras Fault?
Well, that's a good question. They're quite close to the northern Calaveras Fault.
The Calaveras runs for 75 miles.
I mean, that offset in that curve, that's about as spectacular as it gets.
It's true, yeah.
From Hollister in the south to east of Concord in the north. Geophysicist Ross Stein.
It's very long, and it has kind of AC/DC behavior. It creeps and it produces earthquakes.
It's one of the bigger faults in the Bay Area that hasn't had an earthquake in a long time.
But it is capable of producing a magnitude 7.5.
So we know this is one of the sleeping giants in the Bay.
We're now in the latest of about 7 quake swarms in the area since 1970. This latest has lasted about the longest.
They probably increase the hazard a little bit every time you have these smaller earthquakes.
As for the cause, that's complicated. It could be pressurized fluid about 6 miles down, interacting with these complicated faults. And there's one other thing.
Do the present high tides have anything to do with this morning's quakes?
It's funny you say that, because in a paper we wrote in 2018 about the 2015 swarm, we saw a hint of that being the case.
But Dr. Bergman says much more study is needed. In the meantime, this present swarm
Wouldn't be a surprise to see this continue to go on for a while. Wouldn't be a surprise to just see it peter out either.
That's exactly right. We don't know.
And as for folks in the East Bay?
Are you getting a little bit tired of these quakes?
No, but I can be more prepared.
And that's the upside of all of these earthquakes. They're reminders to be prepared.
Because that shake was really thumping.
No significant damage was reported from the quakes. BART was running trains slower as a precaution. All right, still ahead right here at 6. A number of ranches about to close in West Marin County, and neighbors say they're worried about what it means for the workers who will be forced to find new homes.
They're part of the community. They've filled the schools. They stimulate the local economy.
These people are going to be transplanted.
Plus, how you can finally access free Wi-Fi in at least a portion of BART's system. We're nearing the deadline for a major transformation along the Marin County coastline. Last year, an environmental group called the Nature Conservancy reached an agreement with 6 beef ranches and 6 dairies to shut down operations in order to restore the natural landscape. Now the dozens of people who worked on those ranches have just days to find a new home. Our John Ramis spoke with neighbors worried about what it means for their community.
The fight over cattle ranches at the Point Reyes seashore is over, but the human consequences are just beginning. And here at Point Reyes Station, there's a real feeling for the people who did not get a multi-million-dollar buyout. When the deal was struck for the Nature Conservancy to pay the cattle ranches in the Point Reyes seashore to close down, many ranchers were sad to see the end of their lifestyles. But for their workers, it has been more than sadness. Most were terrified about where they will go and what they will do, as they told Marin supervisors last March.
We live under a tremendous amount of tension and pressure. I am a family man. I am the father of a son with an extreme disability. Is this life? What will happen to us, and what will happen to the ones that will follow us?
But time is running out as the deadline draws near for them to leave the place that some have called home for decades. And the county is spending $2.5 million to convert this 1-acre vacant lot in Point Reyes Station into a transitional housing site. 14 tiny homes on wheels are expected here in March, with a plan to convert them to more permanent structures down the line. In many cities, this kind of low-income housing would cause an uproar among the neighbors, but not in Point Reyes Station. Jeannie Brown's mother lives across the street, and Jeannie is delighted by the reaction.
I asked them about what was going to happen over here, and they kind of described what they heard about their trailers, and they all thought it was great. And so I just loved hearing that it's a positive for them.
Perhaps the difference is that the workers are known here, and their value to the community is something that everyone understands.
They're part of the community. They've filled the schools. They stimulate the local economy. To lose them and to lose the ranches is sacrilegious.
Linda Linder is a bit disgusted that some of the same residents who decry the federal government's treatment of immigrants were the same ones demanding the ranches be closed.
There are all kinds of ways of trying to that destroy a people. It doesn't take, you don't need ice to do that. You know, there are quieter, darker ways to do it.
But her gardener husband Barry had a more poetic metaphor. He was busy saving some shrubs that would have otherwise been discarded.
No, that just these people are going to be transplanted like these bushes. They just got transplanted, and if I wasn't watering right now, they would die. When you just transplant something, you got to nurture it a little, you know. That include people? Yeah. People need to be nurtured too when they're transplanted.
The workers are being displaced through no fault of their own, and whether they get the nurturing they may need will depend on the kindness of people like their neighbors in Point Reyes Station.
The terms of the settlement between the ranchers and the Nature Conservancy is still confidential, but it is believed to be around $30 million. The workers themselves are eligible for a payment equal to 18 months of fair market rent, but it requires them to be part of the properties by the end of February. Off the properties, that is, be off of them. Turning to San Francisco now, Citizen app video, it shows a large plume of smoke as fire crews battled a fire at a building in the Sunset. So this is at Taraval Street and 32nd, where you can see a 7-Eleven and a laundromat there. So no word yet on what caused it or if anyone was injured. The fire blocked Muni service on the El Taraval trains, but they are moving again. But they're not stopping at 32nd Street until the scene is completely clear. We'll stay on top of that one. A group of San Francisco businesses, they're taking PG&E to court. They're suing over losses from the power outages in December. So the largest outage affected about 130,000 customers citywide right before Christmas. PG&E says it was caused by a fire at one of its substations. The utility gave businesses a $2,500 credit, but some businesses say they lost tens of thousands of dollars in inventory and lost business. Well, BART is starting to deliver on its promise of free Wi-Fi. Right now, riders can connect to a free network simply titled BART Wi-Fi at 5 different stations: SFO, West Oakland, Embarcadero, Civic Center, and Powell Street. Again, it is free. You do not even need to provide an email address to log in. BART says more stations will get the Wi-Fi over the next 2 years. They'll eventually plan to have Wi-Fi on every train so you can watch this newscast and Paul's forecast. How about that?
When it works. We have to add that caveat to every BART story. The last of Monday's daylight fading from the horizon as we look towards the Golden Gate. Temperatures today, a mix of upper 60s and low 70s. Unusually warm for early February. We'll take a look at how long this is going to last and look ahead to Super Bowl Sunday coming up in First Alert Weather. Starting the month of February the same way that we spent so much of the month of January, with dry weather and temperatures running above average. And that's going to be the case as we head through the rest of this first full week of February, as the storm track has been pushed way up to our north. Some clouds rolling through the Pacific Northwest over the past several hours, and plenty more cloud cover out over the open Pacific. But it's going to be a while before those clouds arrive in the Bay Area in any abundance, and even longer than that before we see any moisture getting squeezed out of those clouds. But there are some rain chances a little farther down the line. Let's take a look at the rain chart over the next 7 days. And right at the end of the 7-day forecast, you see a little increase in our chances for Sunday and Monday. That's Super Bowl Sunday, by the way. Now, the best chance of rain is likely going to be over the North Bay on Sunday, and even there, we're talking about a 40 to 50% chance, but it's something that we're going to keep an eye on. It doesn't rain on the Super Bowl very often. I can only think of one time that it happened. That was about 20 years ago, but there is a chance there could be a few light rain showers, at least in the Bay Area on Sunday, continuing into Monday, and that begins a stretch of unsettled weather that might continue for quite a while. We're going to be keeping an eye on that, but it's still beyond the 7-day forecast at this point. Today, air quality was actually in the good category across the entire Bay Area, thanks to a storm system that passed well to our north over the weekend and kind of stirred the atmosphere around. As the stagnant air kind of lingers in place, though, we're going to see some deterioration of that air quality back to a mix of good and moderate ratings tomorrow, probably moderate across the board by Wednesday, before another passing storm system late this week is going to help to improve things once again. Right now, looking towards the Golden Gate from Salesforce Tower, temperatures a mix of upper 50s and low 60s. If these were our temperatures in the middle of the afternoon, that would be a normal early February day. Instead, these are the temperatures after the sun has already gone down. Still unusually mild out there by early February standards. And tomorrow's going to be another unusually warm day. Good news for our adoptable dog of the day. This is Copper. Sun's out, tongue's out for Copper in San Pablo. He is adoptable from Jelly's Place. I'll put a link up on social media right after this weathercast. Temperatures are going to reach up into the mid to even upper 60s by tomorrow afternoon. So great dog walking weather. Take advantage of of it while you can. A little bit of fog to start the day, but the bulk of it, once again, is going to be in the Central Valley. The Tule fog prompting another dense fog advisory for much of the Central Valley. Just a little bit of that sneaking into the inland valleys of the East Bay, and some fog developing around the bay as well. But it's not going to last very long, and temperatures are going to warm back up. Maybe not 10 to 12 degrees above average like we were today, but a good 5 to 10 degrees above normal, near or above 70 degrees in the Santa Clara Valley, all the way up to 73 in Morgan Hill. Mostly mid to upper 60s east of the Oakland Hills. Not quite as warm because you are going to have some of that fog early in the day. Mid to upper 60s around the bay and at the coast, and temperatures in the North Bay going from the upper 60s to the low 70s the farther inland you go, with very similar temperatures in store for us on Wednesday. A little more cloud cover sneaking into the skies overhead Thursday and Friday, but no moisture out of those clouds. The chance of showers re-enters the forecast for Super Bowl Sunday, but it's just a chance of showers. So focus on the phrase in there. Showers possible, but certainly not etched in stone that we're going to get any rain for Super Bowl Sunday or for the beginning of next week. Just something we'll continue to reevaluate as we head through the rest of this week.
No, you're not seeing double. This is our new uniform. Just kidding. Sometimes we do this, and today we did this.
Just walked in and went,
oh, hi.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. Thanks so much. When we come back, the Valkyries are so popular around the Bay that even one of their very proud parents got recognized while he was here to cover the Super Bowl. Up next. During Super Bowl week, it's not just fans. Thousands and thousands of media members are descending on the Bay Area to cover the game. And that includes the very proud father of one of the Golden State Valkyries' breakout stars. Veronica Burton's dad, Steve Burton, is the sports director at WBZ, the CBS station in Boston. So when he got into town to cover the Patriots, he was blown away to see his daughter's picture on the side of a building in downtown San Francisco. Burton posted this photo, calling it a humbling moment. This is on Minna Street, across from the Metreon and Moscone Center. And earlier today in San Jose, a Valkyries fan actually recognized Steve outside of Super Bowl opening night.
Are you Veronica's dad?
Yes.
I love her.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Did you say you're Veronica's dad?
Yes.
That's right. He's her dad. You can tell from Steve's social media accounts. He is an incredibly proud dad, of course, and why wouldn't he be? Last year, Veronica was named the WNBA's Most Improved Player. What a moment. CBS Evening News is next on KPIX. Local news always on our streaming service. More local news at 7 o'clock with a special Super Bowl edition. Just for you. See you at 7.